You know who I'm talking about, right? Every single time you fly, you see them. Out on the tarmac, in those bright vests, buzzing around under the wing of your plane. They're the baggage handlers, and they're a critical piece of the puzzle for every single flight. But what are they really doing down there? Let's get past the noise and the vests to really understand one of the most vital and toughest jobs in aviation. So, the inspiration for this whole explainer comes from the work of Rob Kennedy. In his AvGeek in Residence series, he's written over 30 articles just like this, shining a massive spotlight on these crucial, often overlooked aviation jobs. And his mission is simple, but it's so powerful. He wants to let the hundreds of thousands of people who might be looking for work know that the aviation industry has some incredible career opportunities just waiting for them. So with that in mind, let's just dive right in. We all see the vests and the carts, but what are the real skills? What are the challenges? And yeah, what are the rewards of being a ramp agent? It's time to break it all down. Okay, so first up, we've got to bust a major myth. This role is way more complex and way more technical than most people outside the industry could ever imagine. Yeah, this right here, this is what everybody thinks. And look, I get why, but it's just not the whole story. Not even close. While the job is incredibly physical, boiling it down to just lifting bags completely misses the point of how important this role truly is. Okay, so here's the reality. This isn't just about muscle, it's about brains and precision. They're doing critical weight and balance calculations. And let's be crystal clear about this. If you get that wrong, the plane is in serious trouble. We're talking about a major safety issue for everyone on board. On top of that, they're operating heavy machinery, they're trained in hazardous materials procedures, and they're coordinating all of it under insane time pressure to get your flight out safely. So a much better way to put it is this. A ramp agent is an aviation professional. They are a key part of that ground crew, and they are directly responsible for the safety and the efficiency of the whole operation, from the second that plane pulls into the gate until it pushes back for takeoff. Okay, so it's a super important job, but let's be real, it is not easy. Let's talk about the gauntlet, the physical and environmental challenges that come with working out on the ramp. Let's just start with this number, 70 pounds. That's about 31 kilos. Now picture yourself lifting that again and again and again, all shift long. It takes some serious strength, some real stamina, and you've got to know how to do it right to avoid getting hurt. And you can forget about a comfy, climate-controlled office. Your office is the tarmac, period. Which means you're dealing with that blistering heat bouncing off the pavement in the summer and facing down freezing winds and blizzards in the winter. So you've got the heavy lifting, you've got the crazy weather, and on top of all that, you're doing this in tight, cramped spaces like the cargo hold. And you're working right next to active jet engines and all sorts of heavy equipment. I mean, situational awareness? It's not just some corporate buzzword out here. It's literally what keeps you safe. So, if you've heard all that, the heat, the cold, the lifting, and you're still thinking, hey, I could do that, then listen up, because here's the good news. The job is actually surprisingly accessible. Let's look at how you get your foot in the door. The great thing is, getting hired is pretty straightforward. You don't need a fancy degree or years of prior experience. You just need a valid driver's license. You've got to be able to pass all the security background checks to get your airport ID. And of course, you have to be physically able to do the work. All the specialized skills, they'll teach you that on the job. All right, so where do you actually go to apply? Well, most ramp agents work for big ground service companies. You've probably heard of them like Swissport or Menzies Aviation. They're the ones contracted by the airlines. Some airlines also hire their ramp teams directly, so your best bet is to check out the career pages for these big companies at your local airport. Okay, now for the big question, the one everyone's thinking about. What's in it for me? We've talked about the grind, so let's look at the pay, the benefits, and where this job can actually take you. All right, let's talk money. Now, the starting pay can bounce around a bit, depending on where you are and if there's a union contract in place, but you're generally looking at a range of about $16 to $25 an hour to start. But it's not just about the hourly wage. We're talking about stable jobs with real benefits. A lot of these positions are unionized, which means you've got groups like the Teamsters or the Machinist Union backing you up, and that often means solid health insurance, retirement plans, and paid time off. And this is huge, you guys. This isn't a dead-end job. Think of it as your launch pad into a real aviation career. The ramp is the perfect place to really learn the nuts and bolts of how an airport works. From there, you can move up to a lead or a supervisor, or even jump into highly skilled roles like being a loadmaster or a flight dispatcher. And the sheer scale of the opportunity here, it's just massive. I mean, just look at this number. In the US alone, there are over 5,200 commercial airports, and every single one of them needs a ground crew to function. That means these jobs are everywhere. This quote really brings it all full circle. So next time you're buckled in, looking out that little window and you see the crew working, just remember what's really going on. They're not just moving your bags, they are an essential part of a super complex dance that makes sure your journey is even possible. So there you have it. It's tough work, no doubt, but it's absolutely essential and it's packed with opportunity. It's a job that literally keeps the world moving, one flight at a time. The only real question left is the tarmac calling your name?